Hi, CD Bestie. This is Ellie Goulding. Please check out my new single, By the End of the Night, and my upcoming album, Higher Than Heaven, on your digital music platform. Stay tuned on CreativeDisc.com. I love you, Indonesia. Thank you so much for being such passionate and patient fans.
Okay. Hi, Ellie.
Hi, how are you?
Great. It's really nice to meet you here. My name is Jeni. I am from CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia. And I'm speaking here from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Awesome.
How about you? Where are you right now? What time is it there?
It is 10:15, nearly 10:15, and I'm in my flat in London.
Oh, in London. That's really nice. Are you in the middle of something or just put on interview schedule today?
Just interviews and press today, yes, which is nice. You know, it's great to talk about the music, and it's great to speak to people from around the world. It reminds me that I have fans around the world and that I need to get on tour pretty quick.
So, Ellie, it's amazing to hear that you will release the new album next month. Actually, next week, on April 7th, right? So I just want to say that I am so curious regarding the fact that you gave birth to your first child in 2021. And most of people say that the first 3 years of motherhood is the hardest part of being a mom. But look at here, everybody. Ellie Goulding produced a new album.
I know.
I don't get it. I don't get it. How did you do that?
I mean, luckily, I've had great people around me. I have an all-female team, which has been really crucial. You know, when women used to have babies, it was a village. It wasn't just one woman. You're not designed to do it by yourself. And so thank God I've had those people to help me. The first 3 years, for sure. It's been 2 years, and it's been a really crazy journey of ups and downs, highs and lows. But you know, every new mum can say the same. It's wild. It's like a wild new world. But you know, in amongst that, I wanted to make an album that was like uplifting and fun. I didn't want to be bogged down in like this sort of you know, the madness of being in a global pandemic, and then you know, becoming a mum, you know, sort of unexpectedly and all those things. So I am grateful that I have an album that I can just really enjoy. And I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed the creative process. I just got to have fun with some of my favorite writers. And I think that's really what it's all about.
Wow, that's really cool. Did you find any particular transformation of you in writing music before and after being a mother?
I feel like there probably is a difference. Somehow I can't quite place what that difference is. I think when you become a mom, your brain changes. It just expands totally. It feels like you are always capable of falling off a cliff, and not in a bad or good way. It's just new kind of sensation of thoughts and feelings, and it opens a whole world where you are just, you know, it's impossible to be selfish. You know, you're looking after like a small human. So yeah, of course, and naturally I think that changes the way you write, but I haven't quite reached that point where I've written that, you know, I'm ready to write that album, but I'm sure it will come at some point.
Yeah. It must be busy to prepare for the release of this album and the recording and everything. How do you manage your time between your work and the family during this production of this new album?
Well, it's complicated, you know. It's something I do have to kind of I think about, you know, often, because you know, my son, for example, is at the Science Museum, and I would love to be there with him. I would love to be there watching him watch things. but I can't because I'm doing this. But I'm, you know, it's my job, and I'm happy to talk about my music, and I'm so glad that people are excited about it. And so it's just constant battle between wanting to be with him and then wanting to do my job, which I love. So it's just something that I always have to figure out. But you know, we make it work. We make it work.
But how about your husband or your family? How they support you during these hard times?
Yeah, you know, he works, you know, so he's doing his job. And he, thankfully, I have a wonderful nanny who helps me look after Arthur, which is it's such a blessing. And Arthur loves her, and it's great.
I'm also really blessed to have you. All right, Ellie, now I want to talk specifically about your work with the new album. You just, earlier this month, you released Miracle with Calvin Harris, and it's the third collaboration of you with him. How did it happen again? I mean, how did you hit to each other and let's make some music again?
Yeah, well, we'd like slightly lost touch. I think a lot of people did during the pandemic. You know, my sort of general friendship went from like this to kind of this. And I think that like we all kind of started to prioritize like how we wanted to spend our time, and like I think Calvin was living in LA, I was living here, so we didn't see each other. And then I think I messaged him about something, I can't remember what, and then he then replied a few months later saying, I've got this song, what do you think? And I didn't really know what to expect. I had no idea what I was gonna hear when I pressed play, and it ended up just being, the second it started, I knew it was instant for me. Whereas, you know, I get sent songs quite a lot, and I sort of know quite quickly whether they're right for me or not. But I've always trusted Calvin as a producer. Yeah. It's very rare to just know that there's someone that's just consistently brilliant at their job. It doesn't happen very often, because you know people get hit or misses. I think he's never really missed. I love his side projects. I love, you know, love Regenerator, and I think he's just killed it. So yeah, he's usually right about music.
Yeah, he's a masterpiece. So in your personal opinion, he's brilliant. Yeah, just brilliant.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with me. I'm in the majority.
Right. So you just released the latest single, By the End of the Night. Gosh, that song is crazy. I really love the transition, you know, from the verse to the bridge and then the chorus back to the second verse. It's really wow. This is really good. Can you tell me a little background about the idea of this song?
Well, the track came from Cos and Stephen, who, you know, he'd just come off working on the Dua Lipa album, and I think he was stuck in that 80s kind of world. And this track came along. I should really ask him what his inspiration was behind the track, because it came to me just without any melody or lyrics, you know, vocally, but the track was kind of there. But I don't know, I should ask him what his inspiration was, because it clearly is like an 80s kind of flash dance vibe.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
But, you know, we were all on the same page, myself, the producers and the writers. We just wanted to write something upbeat and sensual and joyful and urgent, you know. And sometimes I think you just got to make that record, you know. You've got to do whatever you feel in the moment. And we were all feeling like we wanted to make something happy.
Yeah, I believe this song will be a banger. But from all the track and your new album, a few that already released, but I want to know that which song in this album that take longest time or have a biggest effort to produce?
Let me think. Probably like a Saviour, because it just went back and forth. Production, I'm so picky about how things sound, as we all are, and I just couldn't figure out what the right version was, couldn't figure out what the right lyrics were. it just took me a long time to figure that one out. So yeah, it probably like a Saviour, but it, you know, it was worth it in the end. Like, I love that song. And yeah, but everything else was pretty seamless, you know, when it was pretty straightforward, and we needed that, you know, we didn't want to agonize over sort of lyrics for a long time, or the music. So grateful that it was just quite straightforward.
All right. So we absolutely can wait for the whole album to be released next week. But on March 31, which is tomorrow, we will witness a special performance of Ellie Goulding in Kew Garden, such an epic location. How did you or your team maybe choose Kew Garden as a location for this performance?
Because it's just amazing. It's just beautiful. It's the idea of performing to like plants really appealed to me. I saw a video of an orchestra performing to like loads of plants before in an auditorium. I just thought it was the coolest thing. And it's just iconic. You know, it's been there since the Victorian times, the glass house, and it is kind of like a real. It's a real place for appreciating nature and appreciating like what it does for us, but also highlights, you know, how much it's in danger and at risk. And it's an example of like humans just being awesome and appreciating the you know, the miracle of nature, and that it will save us all. And they, yeah, it's just not only like visually beautiful, but just, you know, the whole you know, their whole like ethos, and the, you know, the way that they view nature is, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it's just an amazing place to play.
You also mentioned that two places that you make you feel alive is on stage and around the nature. You personally, you like outdoor activities in the nature? What kind of activities?
Like walking. Love to walk. I love to just be in nature. I'm trying to think what else I do. I mean, mostly just walking. I take my son out, we go walking together, and
that's sweet.
I love him seeing things for the first time. That's my hobby.
I just can't wait for tomorrow. So guys, no need to mark on your calendar. You just set your alarm, because it's literally tomorrow to watch the Kew Garden performance. All right. Thank you very much, Ellie. Good luck for your promotion.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.